everyone. Welcome to the DYL Pickle Movie Network. It's bright and early. My voice is a little bit in a lower register today. We're here for the Oscar nominations morning. I'm back on my OG couch where I first reacted to the Oscar nominations when I first started doing this channel 4 years ago. So here we go. We're going to be tuning in. We're about 2 minutes away from the Oscar nomination announcements. Some things we're looking for. We're looking for actress. Is Fernanda Torres going to be the lock we all think she is? Is Marianne Jean-Baptiste going to take one of the spots of Carlos Sofia Gascon or Cynthia Erivo or Mikey Madison or Demi Moore? Supporting actress. What is going on? Is Jamie Lee Curtis actually getting in? And if she does Pamela Anderson come for the ride? Is it a Nyad situation? What are the last 2 slots for Best Picture? Is it A Real Pain in Sing Sing? Is it A Real Pain in Nickel Boys? Is it Nickel Boys in September 5? Director. Payal Kapadia? Is it Coralie Farge? We will have to see. I'm predicting Coralie Farge. I'm hoping for The Substance to overperform a little bit. Supporting actor. Oh my God. We're starting heavy right now. Is Clarence Macklin gonna get in? Yes! Yura Borisov. Kieran Culkin. All right, here we go. No Clarence Macklin. Damn it. So it's Jeremy Strong in the 5th slot, I assume. Wow, okay, no Clarence Macklin. I'm thinking Sing Sing might miss picture. I don't know. I won't want to read into it too much. If it misses screenplay, I'm out for Sing Sing. Okay, costumes complete unknown. Okay. Conclave. So what missed? No Dune? No Dune for costumes. Wow. And Wicked. Wow, no Dune for costumes. Oh, Dune is going to underperform today. Dune is maybe going to get like 5 or 6 nominations. That's it. That's crazy. Yes, A Different Man got in. Okay, that was the one I almost took out. Oh, no Beetlejuice. Emilia Perez did get in. Okay. The Substance and Wicked? Okay, so no Waltzing with Brando. We don't have to watch that for the death race. Yeah, so no Beetlejuice and Makeup. Oh, that's a bummer. I thought they would be cool like that. Original score. Brutalist. All right, nice. Conclave. Oh, no Challengers. God. So what got in? Wicked. Wicked got into original score when it's not an original score. Whatever. Listen, I'm fine with Wicked getting an original score, but then also let Dune compete, because I think Wicked had more recycled music than Dune did. Okay, a Lion, Anuja. I'm not a robot. Okay, that was not one I predicted. Oh. Okay, I think I went 2 for 5 there. Shorts, I'm just hoping to get 3 out of 5. 2 out of 5 is not good, but animated short. All right, here we go. Is Don Hertzfeldt gonna make it in? Bowen Yang. Oh. Okay, so something's missing. Oh, a lot of things are missing. Oh. Okay, me got snubbed. Yuck. Okay. Okay, so no me. Don Hertzfeldt didn't get in. He's the biggest name in that category, did not get in. Adapted screenplay. Oh boy. Complete unknown. Okay. Conclave. All right, everything's so good so far. Emilia Perez. All right, so the question is, Nickel Boys and Sing Sing rounded out? Or is it Dune? No, Dune. It can't be Dune. There are E. Nickel Boys Sing Sing? Going 5 for 5? 5 for 5, baby. Adapted screenplay. There we go. Okay, so Sing Sing getting into adapted screenplay makes me feel better, because Clarence Macklin still gets nominated because he helped write the screenplay. So Sing Sing, I think, is still alive for picture. But we'll see. Is Nickel Boys that lone screenplay nomination? We'll see. All right, original screenplay. Honora. So the question, is it September 5? Is it Challengers? The Brutalist. All right, moment of truth. Is it Challengers? A Real Pain. Okay, so it's probably going to be September 5. September 5. Here we go. We went 5 for 5 for original. Right? Assuming The Substance is the final slot. Yes! Guys, we went 5 for 5 on screenplay. Both screenplays. We went 10 for 10 on screenplay. That's awesome. Okay. Nothing crazy yet. I mean, Clarence Macklin we knew was probably going to get snubbed. I mean, it wasn't necessarily a guarantee. Oh, supporting actress. Never mind. Here we go. Yes, Monica Barbaro. I predicted that. Holy crap. Oh my God, am I going to go 5 for 5 for supporting? Felicity Jones? If it's Rossellini? And Saldana? I went 5 for 5 on... What? I went 5 for 5 on supporting actress. Holy crap. The hardest prediction to predict. And I went 5 for 5. No Jamie Lee Curtis. It was a hoax. It was a ruse. She's not getting in, which means Pamela Anderson probably isn't getting in either. Okay. So they're taking a break. Oh my god, guys. I went 5 for 5 on original screenplay, 5 for 5 on adapted screenplay, 5 for 5 on the hardest category to predict, supporting actress. I'm literally elated right now. Usually, Oscar nomination morning is met with a lot of snubs that have me shocked and gooped and gagged and speechless. Can't believe that person didn't make it in. Here, I'm shocked for another reason. I went 5 for 5 for supporting actress, which is the hardest category to predict. I'm feeling great. After that, I feel really good. Obviously, there's still probably some crazy snubs to come. Actress now, I don't think I'm going to go 5 for 5. I figured maybe I'll get lucky in one of the acting categories. Wow. Okay, I don't think Dune's been mentioned at all yet. So that is definitely not great for Dune. All right, that's the first half. We're back in like 40 seconds for the next half. Can these two host the Oscars? I think they're great. Original song, all right. Is Elton John getting in? Amal, okay. There goes Diane Warren. That's crazy. Oh, Sing Sing got in the song. Okay, and then is it Elton John? I knew the Wild Robot song was snubbable. Roll back the clip.
Kiss the Sky, this feels so apt for a snub. I'm telling you right now, I feel in my bones that this is going to get snubbed.
I said there's a very good chance a Wild Robot song gets snubbed. Yo, Sing Sing getting in a song. That's actually really good for its Best Picture chances. All right, documentary. Oh, God. Black Box Diaries. Okay. No Other Land. Okay, so they snubbed Daughters. They snubbed Daughters. Oh, and they snubbed Evelyn. Of course, every year they snub my favorite freaking documentary. This year, I had 2 documentaries. They snubbed them both. Oh my gosh, I can't catch a break with the documentary branch, man. Cannot catch a break. All right, this might be the Gold Derby top 5. Oh no, it's not. Oh, okay. So you got instruments, orchestra. Okay, the Ukraine one didn't get in. That's a bit surprising. I'm Still Here. Okay. Wait a sec. Did Emilia Perez miss? Oh, they're going in alphabetical based on country. I was going to say, I couldn't believe. Okay. Oh, so Girl with the Needle got in. So what missed? Flo. Oh. So no Vermiglio and no Kneecap. I also said Kneecap was snubbable.
I think Kneecap is one that a lot of people are predicting. It had a great day at BAFTA. My only hesitancy, though, for Kneecap, it is an Irish film, so of course BAFTA was going to be a little higher on it. I am just a little nervous. I'm a little nervous because I think BAFTA just kind of put it on this huge pedestal, but I think because it's a British film, we have to kind of keep an arm's distance from it.
I should just stick by my guns. I should stick with my intuitions here. All right, this should be the easy 5. I'm just a little worried for Memoir of a Snail. And there it is. Okay, yep, it's the top 5. Production design. The Brutalist, okay. Conclave, okay, so I predicted Conclave to get snubbed, but all right, so what's missing? Wicked, okay, so no Gladiator. So I was between Gladiator and Conclave. I thought they'd go for the more period piece fantasy. That's okay. 4 for 5, happy with that. Editing, all right, does Challengers get in? Honora. Oh, The Brutalist got an editing. Okay. And I was a little all... Ooh. Wicked in editing. So what missed editing? Dune? And September 5? Okay, September 5 didn't get editing. All right, so September 5 is not getting Best Picture. Mm-hmm. Ooh, Wild Robot got into sound. So what missed sound? Gladiator. Gladiator's getting a lot of snubs. Gladiator is not a favorite of theirs. All right. Oh, Alien Romulus for visual effects. So no Mufasa. Yeah, no Oh wait, Wicked. What? Oh gosh. Okay. So no Mufasa and no Gladiator. Every time I predict Gladiator, it gets snubbed. Okay, cinematography, Brutalist. Dune. No Conclave. Okay. Oh, what's the shocker here? Maria, Nosferatu. Okay, Emilia Perez gets in over Conclave. Emilia Perez is having a good day. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah, Maria got in. I called that. Actor. Here we go. Brody. All right, the question is it Daniel Craig or Sebastian Stan? Chalamet. Okay, here we go. Is it Craig? It's not Craig. It's Domingo. Okay, Sebastian Stan's getting in. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay, Sebastian Stan did not vote split. So Gold Derby had Sebastian Stan in there, and I didn't understand it, but I guess they were right. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right, actress. Here we go. Big question. All right, Cynthia made it in. All right, so maybe no Marianne Jean-Baptiste. Yeah, I think Baptiste is done. Yep, Baptiste. Damn. All right, and Torres, Fernando Torres. That is such a cool nomination. Okay, you know what? I'm fine with that. I love Cynthia Erivo. I was really excited and hoping for Marianne Jean-Baptiste, but it wasn't meant to be. My heart is slowly breaking. Honora, okay. Something crazy is going to happen. All right, Brady Corbet. Okay. Corley made it in. Who missed? Edward Berger missed. I said he was vulnerable. Every time I'm like, you know what? They could miss.
I think Edward Berger is the most likely to miss if one of these four misses.
So far, it's been happening. Wild Robot in song. Edward Berger in director. All right, best picture. So is it Sing Sing or is it Nickel Boys? That's the question right now because it's not September 5. September 5 didn't get into editing. Honora. Brutalist. Complete Unknown. I'm assuming Conclave next. Conclave. Imagine if Dune misses here. That'd be crazy after their horrible performance today. Okay. Dune gets in. All right. All right. So the question, what are the last two? Real Pain, Sing Sing. Real Pain, Nickel Boys. Sing Sing, Nickel Boys. I think it's one of those three combos. Let's find out. Wow! I'm still here. Oh my. Nickel Boys? Oh my god, something big's missing. Okay, so a Real Pain didn't get in. And Sing Sing's not going to get in. Holy crap. And Wicked. Oh my god. I'm still here. The movie that could. I'm still here. You Brazilians are watching my channel. I see you. I hear you. I love you. This is for you. This is amazing. I'm Still Here gets 3 nominations. I'm surprised it didn't squeeze in for adapted screenplay. So, okay. Let's unpack some of this in the immediate mindset. Okay, Edward Berger missing director, not crazy shocking. I mean, he's not necessarily a darling of that branch. Obviously, a big surprise that James Mangold gets in. I guess the DGA did still go 4 for 5. Wrong about Marianne Jean-Baptiste, but right about Fernando Torres. I'm Still Here getting in a picture, especially over Real Pain. I mean, I thought a Real Pain was just going to be a lock. So the question becomes, does Kieran Culkin win without a Real Pain in picture? Now, it's happened. Brendan Fraser won for The Whale. The Whale wasn't in picture. But I think it definitely makes it a little bit more questionable. Very cool. Very fun batch of nominees. I'm Still Here. That is awesome. Brazil, congratulations. That's really cool. So thank you for watching this. I'll be back in just a minute. I'm going to do a little brief rundown of some things. But wow, okay, Oscar nomination morning. Here we go.
Woo boy, everyone. I mean, that was insane. I mean, I kind of said it on the video when I was recording live in the moment. Like, a lot of the surprises were more pleasant surprises because I was right about some things, like going 5 for 5 with supporting actress. But, no one could have predicted me for what that best picture shock was with I'm Still Here getting a nomination. I mean, it was shocking also that Nickel Boys got in because I thought it was going to be a lone screenplay. So Nickel Boys actually now looks more like Women Talking, where it only gets screenplay and picture. We also saw it with Past Lives. So I think this is now a precedent we can keep an eye on. If it happens again next year, we'll know it's like a common stat that a film could get in a best picture with only one other nomination in screenplay. We see that as a trend. But looking at best picture, I'm just going to kind of go through all these. Best picture, I went 8 for 10. Sing Sing did not make the cut, neither did A Real Pain, but otherwise, pretty much as expected. I mean, we knew Nickel Boys was on the bubble, especially seeing that September 5 was the lone screenplay nomination. It makes sense that Nickel Boys is here now, and I'm Still Here. I mean, again, I'm going to be talking about this for a while, probably forever, as one of the biggest Oscar surprises on Oscar nomination morning. I don't think anyone was really predicting it for Best Picture. I mean, there were obviously probably some, but I don't think anyone was serious seriously predicting it for Best Picture. And if you were, like, you got to go to Vegas next year, because that is a crazy, crazy feat. And that's just awesome. It's really cool to see more than one international representation. And I think that's also something we can keep an eye on, because last year we had Zone of Interest and Anatomy of a Fall. This year we have these two films, Amelia Perez and I'm Still Here. So this could also be a precedent going forward, that we might get more than one international film in the Best Picture lineup, which also makes international more fun, because yes, Amelia Perez walked away with the most nominations of the day with 13, but it's also cool to think that there is at least another Best Picture contender in the mix now for international. But moving on to directing, I mean, this one, James Mangold, it's a surprise, but also kind of not. DGA usually goes 4 for 5. They did go 4 for 5 here. They got Audiard, Corbet, Baker, and Mangold. They did not get Berger. So it did go 4 for 5, but it was the wrong person we were predicting. I predicted Berger. It ended up being Mangold. Corley Farge gets that 5th spot. I don't know why I was stressing over that. I'm very happy. Actress kind of went as everyone was predicting, except for me. I thought there would be a surprise. One of the top 4 contenders would fall, a la Amy Adams, Margot Robbie, Viola Davis. But turns out all 4 got in. And Fernanda Torres, especially with the film and picture, makes a lot of sense why she was the easy 5 spot. So that should have been an easy 5 to predict. I went kind of no guts, no glory for my 5 predictions. Very sad for Marianne Jean-Baptiste. I was very much hoping that she wouldn't just get the nomination, but could hopefully maybe make a case to win. That is all far-fetched now. I think right now, Demi Moore and Mikey Madison are looking at the trophy. It's going to probably be one of them. Best Actor, 4 for 5 on this one, too. This is one where I should have just looked at Gold Derby before I made the predictions, because everyone was kind of predicting Sebastian Stan in the last minute. I think also just The Apprentice of it all being such a topical thing. I think him winning the Globe for Different Man really helped. My only thing is that it's surprising that Sebastian Stan was able to get in despite vote splitting, because I'm sure a lot of people went for A Different Man. I think because of Jeremy Strong as well, it kind of pushed people in the direction to nominate Apprentice over A Different Man. I think most people were seeing how the tide was turning for supporting and said, you know what, if Jeremy Strong's getting in, then we should probably go for Sebastian Stan and The Apprentice, not A Different Man. But I'm surprised he got in just because of that vote splitting. And Daniel Craig for Queer is the big miss here. But again, not a super surprising miss, because he did miss the BAFTA, and BAFTA should have seemed like a no-brainer for Craig. But also, Craig wasn't expected to get into SAG, and he did. So that was just such a weird category, trying to predict the 5th slot. I think that was always going to be a little tricky. Moving on to cinematography, I'm just going in the order they gave it to us on the lineup backwards, because that's how it is on their Twitter page. Cinematography, I went 4 for 5. I did not think Amelia Perez would get in here. That was the big shock, but seeing how well it performed on the day, I'm not surprised in retrospect. Conclave, a big miss. Conclave had a few big misses. I mean, obviously, director was a huge miss, and now cinematography also being a big miss. I think Conclave now doesn't look as sure of a Best Picture frontrunner as some people were predicting. A lot of people thought, you know, if Anora misses some big things, Brutalist misses some big things, maybe Conclave will squeak through. I honestly think cinematography and directing, missing that combo, shows that it's not as strong. I mean, I think Top Gun Maverick comes to mind, where everyone was like, yeah, no, maybe Top Gun Maverick is going to upset everything ever all at once. And then Top Gun Maverick missed cinematography. Joseph Kaczynski didn't get in. It didn't get some crucial nominations it needed. But otherwise, I mean, Nickel Boys not being here is a freaking travesty. Maria getting in, though, makes a lot of sense. Obviously, they like to go for that one-off nomination in cinematography. Also, Edward Lockman is a very respected name amongst the Academy. As for visual effects, I only went 3 for 5 here. I did very badly in visual effects. I didn't see Wicked coming. I probably should have. The thing is that when a Best Picture contender like Wicked, like Poor Things, like Black Panther, gets into BAFTA, they usually miss at the Oscars. So I was thinking Wicked was going to be that Poor Things, going to be that Black Panther here and miss visual effects, but the branch nominated it. I think the biggest surprise is Alien Romulus, and I know a lot of people were still predicting it, just because I think a lot of people were just thinking, you know, with it getting all these shortlist nominations, it would show up somewhere. I wasn't of that thinking because it didn't get any precursors, so it is a stat-defying nomination for Alien Romulus. It gets in despite having very little to none in terms of precursors. The big misses here, Gladiator 2, Mufasa, but otherwise, it's as expected. As for sound, I think sound is very, very cool. Sound is also one I went 4 for 5 with. The 3 music films got in, Dune got in. A Wild Robot surprising over Gladiator 2. Not too surprising in retrospect, again, seeing how Gladiator 2 underperformed. But ultimately, pretty cool for the Wild Robot, especially missing song to still get sound, having 3 nominations to its name. It's a strong package, and I think right now, The Flow has 2 nominations as well. well. But I think Wild Robot, this having the sound nomination kind of elevates it a little bit over Flow, I think, for the animated win. As for editing kind of took us by storm here. So September 5 did not get in for editing. Neither did Dune. And I think that is huge because Dune, I mean, normally we see editing and sound match up. And the fact that Dune didn't get in here, but neither did A Complete Unknown, maybe this means that Wicked is going to win Best Sound because Wicked is here for editing, which was a big surprise. I don't think even the people who love Wicked the most, like my buddy Chad, I don't think anyone was predicting it for editing. So the fact that it got in, especially over Dune, which was my number 2 for editing, I'm a little bit surprised. But Anora gets in, Brutalist gets in. That's another one I have to give this to Chad. Editing, I'm giving to Chad this year because his favorite film of the year, Wicked, made it into editing when no one was predicting it. But yeah, Brutalist is the big one. I want to remedy something I said in my predictions video, which actually Chad caught, which was that I said that Killers of the Flower Moon didn't make it in, so the Brutalist is not going to make it in because they hate their long movies. But actually, Chad made it a note to tell me that it was nominated last year, and I was getting it confused. I'm looking at my notes right now. I wrote Killers of the Flower Moon snub, big, could lead to Brutalist snub. I was thinking of it for screenplay. My facts were correct. Killers of the Flower Moon did miss. It just missed an adapted screenplay, not editing. So I just had my notes all flipped up. I mean, you can see these pages and pages of notes. So I was bound to miss something in my fact checking. So thank you, Chad, for catching that. That's why I love my fellow hosts, because they catch those little things. My mind moves a mile a minute when it comes to this stuff. So if I had known that Killers of the Flower Moon still got in, I probably would have put Brutalist in. So I'm not going to say I was right. I'm not going to say, oh, I would have predicted Brutalist, because I didn't. So I'm going to stand by it. I did not predict Brutalist, but I think if I had read that research correctly and actually processed it and realized I was talking about screenplay, I would have probably still kept Brutalist in editing. But Brutalist still missed BAFTA for editing. It still missed the Eddie Award. So it is still a surprise nonetheless. And especially at the expense of something like Dune or September 5. That was a pretty interesting category, so I didn't do very well there. Moving on to production design, another one, Gladiator, just goose egged here. I don't think it got in anywhere. It might have gotten into costumes, but yeah, Gladiator had a bad day today. The one that kind of subbed in was Conclave. That was the predicted 5, so I kind of went against the grain, thinking maybe Conclave because it's a modern film, because newer, fresher, the movies that aren't period pieces or fantasy films normally don't get in. It's why I snubbed it, but it got in. So it's now the third film in this kind of decade since, Parasite got in, The Father got in, and now Conclave. 3 modern films that are not period pieces, not fantasy films got in. So Conclave joins a very interesting stat there. As for Best Animated, it was what we predicted, so I'm not going to go through that. International, a few surprises, but not necessarily anything wild, not like that Yak in the Classroom movie from a few years ago. I mean, the ones that got in that were surprises were still not huge surprises. I mean, Flow, a lot of people were kind of scrapping it from their predictions last minute, me as well, just because I thought, Flow didn't have a lot of language, so maybe they would just not consider it for international, but it did get in. Very strong showing for Flow today. Girl with the Needle got in as well. This was the one that I was also kind of predicting on the outside, just because it is a little bit more dreary. But Kneecap is something I want to call attention to, because a lot of people are probably going to be surprised about Kneecap missing. But having watched it last night, I actually watched Kneecap for the first time last night. It didn't feel like an Oscar nomination movie. Not saying it wasn't Oscar worthy, but just watching it, I didn't get the vibe that this is something the international film branch would go for, just because of their trajectory, their history, their trends. They go for stuff that is a little darker, maybe not as dark as Girl with the Needle, so I'm still surprised to see it here. But yeah, I think if I had watched Kneecap before making my predictions, I might have snubbed it altogether, because I did not necessarily see it and go, yep, that's getting nominated. It just didn't feel like the type of movie that gets nominated in this category, so I probably should have seen that coming. But ultimately, I did go 3 for 5. Not a great day. Vermiglio also not getting in here. Moving to documentary. I mean, documentary, they really throw us for a loop. I did get Black Box Diaries and No Other Land and Sugarcane, so I got 3. That's actually not too bad. And the 2 that I missed are the 2 that I was kind of hope dicting. I told you in my predictions not to follow my predictions for documentary, because I knew I was going to be wrong. My favorites always miss, so going forward, I'm not even going to predict my favorites anymore, or I've just got to find new favorites, because my 2 favorites, Evelyn and Daughters, did not make the cut. Instead, we see Porcelain War getting in and Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, which I've heard good things about. It's a very long documentary, but I'm excited to check it out. So I haven't seen any of these 5, so this is going to be kind of my project for the Death Race, is trying to track down these documentaries and find them and watch them. Moving on to song, I should have just stuck by my guns and snubbed the Wild Robot. I kept saying, like, it just didn't feel, again, I keep feeling like some of these songs or some of these nominees just don't feel like the Oscars cup of tea. And I think Kiss the Sky, it's a great moment in the movie, but I also think if you just listen to it, like, it's a sweet little song, da 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 da. But I should have stuck to my guns that it just wouldn't be the Academy's thing. So instead of the Wild Robot where they're flying, Like a Bird is flying into this lineup from Sing Sing. This is something that I thought could happen. This kind of fulfills the Wajaje Killers of the Flower Moon spot, the Everything Everywhere All at Once song spot, even though those films did get into Best Picture. I think this is kind of something we see them do a lot, where they take one of the higher, more likely Best Picture nominees and put a song from them in. And then Elton John, I'm very happy I called that one. They love their documentaries. They love Elton John. So that should have been a no-brainer. A lot of people didn't predict it. Sorry. Supporting actress. I went 5 for 5 here. I'm honestly quite stunned because I predicted to get 3 out of 5 here. I thought there was a likelihood Felicity Jones could miss. The fact that Felicity Jones is in here, though, and that she didn't get SAG, she didn't get so many of these big awards. She got BAFTA, but I think the fact that Felicity Jones is here is really, really good for The Brutalist because it really underperformed at SAG. But the fact that all the actors they needed got in, it got into editing, it got into screenplay. Brutalist really didn't miss anywhere at all that it was predicted to get into. I mean, I don't think it got costumes, but it really wasn't predicted there. So I think the fact that, Felicity Jones gets in here is huge, huge, huge for The Brutalist. I think, honestly, that might make me think of predicting it again. Obviously, there's some backlash with the AI stuff, which we'll get into when we talk about The Brutalist on, like, Picture This and in my future Oscar predictions. But very excited to see that. Monica Barbaro was the big surprise. She is now the first actress in this new lineup to only get SAG and then get into Oscars. So that is a stat defier, but I can't believe I predicted it. And I'm very proud of myself. I think of any Oscar predictions in years, this is the most proud I've been because this is a very notoriously tough category. And this year, especially, there were 10 contenders. I mean, there were some moments where I thought Selena Gomez should be my 5 spot. There were some moments where I thought Jamie Lee Curtis was just going to get in after all, but I stuck to my guns and I said, you know what? Complete Unknown is rising at the right time. The SAG nomination helps. She's a fresh face. They like fresh faces in this category, especially. Look at Ariana Grande Botera as well. So I'm very happy I predicted this. And as a Top Gun fan, I haven't seen A Complete Unknown yet, but as a Top Gun Maverick fan, I'm very happy for Monica Barbaro. So original screenplay was the 5 we predicted, which was really cool. Same as adapted screenplay. I went perfect on those 2 categories. Not a lot of crazy snubs. I mean, Dune missing adapted screenplay, though we did think that was going to happen. I honestly think Wicked missing adapted screenplay kind of puts a little bit of a, I'm not sure in its Oscar chances just because it did get editing, but it didn't get directing, didn't get screenplay. So I really don't think Wicked is as big a contender as people think. If it had surprised here in adapted screenplay, kind of like Top Gun Maverick did, then I would have honestly taken it seriously as a potential winner for Best Picture. But I think the fact that Wicked couldn't get into the writing or directing branches, I just don't think it's enough. I think it's playing really well to the actors, really well to some of the tech branches, but not necessarily for some of those above the line categories like screenplay, like director. But moving on now to score, original score. Here we see challengers miss. I did predict challengers instead of Wicked. I did say it in my reaction, so I'm not going to go on too much about it. But I think if Wicked is an adapted score, then they should have let Dune also compete for this. And if they snubbed Dune, if they said Dune isn't eligible, they should have made Wicked ineligible. Because in my opinion, it's okay to have an original score that recycles some stuff. I mean, look at all the John Williams Star Wars scores and Indiana Jones scores. It's okay to reuse themes, and I think that's fine. Wicked uses a lot of themes from the musical, from the songs themselves. Same as Dune. I mean, they use a lot of stuff from the first film, but there's also so much new stuff. And I love that Wicked is nominated here because there's a lot of great new stuff, and I love Stephen Schwartz, but I think if you're going to do that, you have to also let Dune compete as well. And I think Dune honestly could have won this category. But I also think, the challenger snub, as much as people are saying it's a crazy, shocking snub, it's not. I feel like, Reznor and Ross is honestly the part of it that's most surprising to me because they love him, or they love them. But I honestly think, that movie just was not resonating with these voters. It came out too early. They were not sticking around to think of it and listen to it and really put it on their priority list. I also think Globes winning doesn't necessarily always matter for it. I mean, look at Babylon. So I really don't know. I think Challengers is a snub, but I'm not necessarily that surprised just seeing how Challengers performed on the day, which is getting 0 nominations, which is pretty sad. Makeup kind of went as we predicted. I did say I think Amelia Perez is getting in. I just didn't know who to swap it out for, so I just stuck with the easy 5 because I was like, you know what? At least I'll get 4 out of 5. Because honestly, if I had put in Amelia Perez and taken out taken out A Different Man, I still would have gone 4 for 5 because A Different Man was the one I was going to take out. So the fact that A Different Man got in and Emilia Perez at the expense of Beetlejuice, I'm fine with just predicting the easy 5 because I went 4 out of 5, happy with that. Emilia Perez, not a shock that it's in here, especially considering how well it performed on the day. But Beetlejuice, a sad snub because I think that was a really cool nomination coming for Beetlejuice, and I think the makeup branch usually does really cool things, but not this year. And not to say they didn't do cool things. They still put the Substance and Nosferatu in there. I'm just saying I think Beetlejuice would have been a really cool thing as well, in addition to the other cool things they did. Okay, costume design. This is where Gladiator did get in. So Gladiator gets 1 nomination on the day. So it didn't get completely goose-egged. I was trying to remember because this was one of the first nominees they announced. So Gladiator did make it in. Dune missed this one, which was a little weird. So Dune was swapped out for Complete Unknown, which I haven't seen yet. So again, this is tough because a Complete Unknown I was kind of going blind with. I knew it would be good in sound. I knew it would probably make some acting nominations, but yeah, I mean, I think Complete Unknown getting in over Dune is something to say about a Complete Unknown's just overall spot in the race. I think also getting directing and screenplay, I think that's really strong. The only thing Complete Unknown missed that it probably needed was editing. But even then, I mean, the fact that it got director, screenplay, and picture, I think it has a good package. I think Complete Unknown could be a shocker if we're looking for that outside Oscar Best Picture winner, if Honora or Brutalist or even Emilia Perez fall off. And lastly, an actor in a supporting role. Again, we're just going backwards based on what they announced it, the order they announced it. Again, this is the predicted 5. I went against the grain. I put Clarence Macklin in, but now that Sing Sing was not in picture, I'm not surprised. So if I had seen picture first and known that Sing Sing wasn't getting in, I wouldn't have predicted Clarence Macklin here. I think it was an all or nothing thing for me. I was like, I'm either going to go all in on Clarence Macklin and Sing Sing, or I'm going to go with no nominations for Sing Sing. But then Sing Sing pops up in song and adapted screenplay. So Sing Sing, a very weird Oscar package here where it gets 3 nominations but doesn't get picture. But Clarence Macklin's still a nominee because he wrote the screenplay. He co-wrote the screenplay for Sing Sing. So Clarence Macklin's still an Oscar nominee at the end of the day, which is very cool. But Jeremy Strong gets in, especially seeing Sebastian Stan get in. That is not a surprise. That is the Naiad of the year. So I know I said Pamela Anderson and Jamie Lee Curtis are not going to be the Naiad. Turns out the Naiad was Sebastian Stan and Jeremy Strong all along. So there you go. That's your Naiad of the year. You get a lead and a supporting. Otherwise, not too many surprises here. Again, not a crazy surprising day. I think the one big surprise is I'm still here, but really looking at everything else, there's nothing else that I'm like just completely gobsmacked about. Even Challenger's missing score, even, some of these like below the line categories. Like I'm not really losing my mind shocked over any of them. Even documentary, they always snub my favorites. So of course it was going to happen. So we'll be back. I'm going to check in probably 2 more times to give my updated Oscar predictions with my Oscar winners. I will also be giving my Pickle Award nominations very soon in the matter of a few weeks where I'll be nominating my own awards show, which is something I love to do every year. I have a few more titles I want to watch before I solidify those, and I want to rewatch some things. But yeah, there you go. We'll also be back on Picture This, talking about all 10 of the Best Picture nominees. Honora, The Brutalist, Emilia Perez, Conclave, Complete Unknown, Wicked, The Substance, Dune Part 2, Nickel Boys, and I'm Still Here. We'll be talking about it on Picture This, me and my co-host Chad Webb. We'll also be doing the Oscars Death Race. So if you're in the Discord, Matt Chapman, my co-host from Frame Rec, and I will be doing the Oscars Death Race, watching every single nominee for any Oscar, not just Best Picture, but every single nominee. So that's all the shorts, it's all the documentaries, all the internationals, all that. I got to get to work. It starts today. I'm probably going to Complete Unknown tonight. So I'm very excited to get that underway. So a lot of Oscar stuff coming. So if you're a Fernanda Torres stan and you're in my comments, because I know you, I see you, I love you, mwah. If you're there, stay tuned because there's a lot more talk coming the rest of the season about Fernanda Torres, about I'm Still Here, and about all the nominees here. Yes, I'm pandering to an audience, but it's because it's a faithful, loyal audience, and I'm very happy to have discovered this channel. But thank you guys so much. If you want to stick around for more, if you want to see what other Oscar coverage I have coming up, subscribe to this channel, like it, comment. Sorry, I'm very tired. I'm going to go back to bed after I edit this because I've been up all night agonizing over these and then reacting to them. I also have to get a little coffee in my system. But thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more. And wow, what a day.